Sorry for the technical difficulties. We're live now. Minnetonka is up 2-1. Two quick goals from number 19. Logan Yui has put Minnetonka in the lead 2-1. And a recent goal from the Buffalo has Minnetonka's lead down to 1. Push. Ball with the Buffalo. Bad pass from the Buffalo. Thrown wide and out of bounds. Ball's with Charlie Mays looking to clear. He moves it over to Jack McNeil. McNeil clearing the ball and over midfield. McNeil looking for someone to pass to. He drops ball. Ball on the ground. Ground ball picked up by the Skippers. Loose hold call against Minnetonka. Leads to the ball going back to Buffalo. Buffalo clearing. Landstrom on the ball. Moved down, and we got Luke Miller on the ball, playing defense behind the net. Ball, long pass, up. Caught, and the ball's around midfield. Number 13. Zachary Alstrin now on the ball, following his man through. Ball's moved up. And back down and around. Charlie Mays all the way back down. Luke Miller on the ball. Dodging. Attempting to dodge up the alley. Miller keeping him behind the net. Diving shot wide of the net. Picked up by Charlie Mays. Mays with some pressure. He beats his guy. Starts his run. Pass over to Cole Langevin, who gets it over midfield. That being doubled. And a timeout called by Minnetonka will keep the ball safe. Minnetonka's Logan Yu with the ball for the restart. Logan Yu already holds an impressive 2 goals tonight. Logan Yu carrying it down. Quickly gets a touch and moves it down to Gabe Miller. Miller down to Jackson Blanks. Blanks up to Miller. Miller all the way up to Reddington. Reddington over to Yui. Yui down to Bodie. Richard. Richard moves down the alley. Slows back to Yui. Pass dropped, but easily picked up by Reddington. Reddington down the alley, looking for a shot. He takes one just wide. Ball out of bounds. Chased down by Minnetonka's number 11, Benjamin Schuster. Schuster will be starting the ball from behind. Schuster carrying it behind the net, and Schuster dodging up the alley. Rolls back, shot just wide again. Easily chased down by Minnetonka's attack. Number 6, Gabe Miller. Miller starting it from the corner. Miller carries it behind the net. With lots of space to dodge, he comes up the alley, stops, back up that alley. Skip pass all the way to Logan Yu. Yu pulls it over to Richard. Richard with the ball at the top. Alley dodge, shot, and he gets it. Top left corner on the run down the alley. Goal for number 1, Bodie Richard. Skippers now up 3-1 here in Buffalo. Minnetonka sends number 23, Quentin Restrepo, to the dot. Minnetonka using an interesting strategy, putting a short stick on defense and using 2 LSMs for the face-off. Instant pressure on the man that gets the ground ball. Buffalo gets their touch and is now trying to slow play. Their midfielder subbing off, and Minnetonka getting their D-mids on. Buffalo looking to make offense. Here, down 2 goals. Cole Langevin on the ball. Heavy pressure, and the ball is dropped. Check from Cole Langevin. Puts the ball on the ground. Picked up by Buffalo. Player with the ball. Lots of pressure. Quentin Restrepo on ball now. Moves it over. Pass almost wide, but it's caught. Luke Larson follows this man down the alley. This man looking for top side, but Luke forces him to the back. Skip pass almost results in a goal. Slide comes fast. Protecting an on-the-net shot for Buffalo. Ball behind the net with Buffalo's number 3, Ethan Nuss. Nuss moving it up. Dodge coming down the alley again. Back to Nuss behind the net. Nuss, diving shot, and he gets it. Coming around the corner, he takes a backhanded shot into the net. Goal for Buffalo, number 3, Ethan Nuss. Three seconds now left in the quarter. And there's the horn. That will be the end of the first quarter here in Minnetonka. Score is Skippers 3, Bison 2. The recent Minnetonka goal was for number 2, Jackson Blank. Two slashing penalties against Minnetonka. One for number 20, Jack McNeil, and the other one for number 23, Luke Miller. Minnetonka 2-man down for 1 minute. Pass picked off by J.D. Landstrom, and he's on the run. Moving it to an attackman. Ball with Minnetonka. Richard on the point. Move it down to Reddington. Reddington all the way down to Miller. Miller carrying it behind the net. Miller behind the net, looking to dodge, coming up the alley. Pass to Schuster on a cut. Ball chased down by Minnetonka. One referee calls Minnetonka's ball, the other one calls it's Buffalo. The call for Buffalo is going to stand. Or not. Looks like the referees are coming for a conversation, assuming the ball goes to Minnetonka here. Ball will be with Buffalo. Buffalo now looking to clear. And a stray pass over the midfield line gives the ball back to Minnetonka. Minnetonka's Cole Langevin looking to get a touch, and he gets it. But a timeout's called by Minnetonka before. It's going to be Minnetonka on their timeout, and they're back to even strength. Ball with Bodie Richard. He carries it down the alley, rolls back, and moves it up to Reddington. Reddington over to Logan Yui down the alley. Yui to X. Skip pass. Just wide. Reddington chasing it down, and he keeps it. Minnetonka with the ball. Reddington taking it down the alley on the run. Passes it back to... Passes it back, drops, but picked up by Jackson. Jackson blanks with heavy pressure. Stuck, and the ball's knocked loose. A pass astray, has it on the ground again. Minnetonka with a chance to get this one up. Ball's flicked to the goalie. Goalie has the ball, and Buffalo's looking to clear. A long pass is still bouncing around. It's over midfield. Who will get this ground ball? Minnetonka does not. Don't catch that. Call made by the referee. Blue playing without a cross, so the ball's awarded to Buffalo. Ball's on the ground again after a bad pass. Ball moved up. Buffalo settling into an offense here now. Goal for Buffalo's number 15, Floyd Meyer. Pass thrown out of bounds by the Buffalo Sabres. The ball will be given to Minnetonka with 4 minutes and 56 seconds remaining in the half. Charlie Mays attempting to clear. Pass over to Cole Langevin. Langevin running with the ball, and he gives it over to Mays. Mays to Schuster. Schuster now holding the ball. Schuster carrying it up and moving it to Grant Anderson. Anderson with the ball at the point. Minnetonka's Liam Cassidy subs onto the field, and the ball's moved to him. Cassidy over to Seth Haney. Haney looking to maybe dodge, and he takes it down the alley. Check, drops the ball loose, picked up by Buffalo. Cole running it down the sideline, and a check by Liam's just wide. Whistles come in from the referee. Timeout called by Buffalo. Bison have the ball. They'll be resetting in just a few minutes. Bison now resetting the ball. 4 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the half. Hold call called against the Skippers. Ball's gonna be with the Bison. 30-second hold called against J.D. Landstrom. Goal for Buffalo's number 19, Griffin Valley. Ball with Buffalo. Buffalo looking for offense, but that's knocked loose by Cole Langevin. Langevin with two attackmen pressuring him behind. He gets the pass off to Landstrom. Landstrom strings a long pass to open field. Luke Miller at midfield. He moves it to Schuster. Schuster now holds the ball, waiting for some midfield help, and it's moved to Liam Cassidy. Cassidy moves it to Jackson Blanks, and Blanks moves it all the way down to Logan Yui. Yui down the alley, and he moves it back to number 4, Jackson Gould. Gould over to Schuster. Schuster looking to make some offense, and he takes a shot. Just saved by the goalkeeper, but it's picked up by Gabe Miller behind the net. Miller with the ball. Miller moves it to Gould. Gould carries it and moves it to Schuster. Schuster over to Blanks. Blanks looking to dodge, and he moves in, looking for the alley, but he rolls inside, gets a shot off for free. Flag down on the play. Probably going to be a slash, maybe a hold. We'll see what the ref calls here. It's going to be Minnetonka's ball, and they're going to be on offense. Slash called against Buffalo's number 4, Cooper Kebula. Defensive midi. Called for a 1-minute slashing penalty. Minnetonka man up for 1 minute. Ball up with Bodie Richard. Richard to Blanks. Blanks back to Richard. Richard. Miller. Miller back to Logan Yui. Yui to Anderson. To Schuster. To long string of passes. Ends up with a Miller shot. Miller shoots it over and wide. Ball chased down by Bodie Richard, and he's restarting it from behind the net. Richard up to Anderson. Anderson to Schuster. Schuster carrying it across. Pressure comes. Miller to Logan Yu, and a push from behind. Does get called. It's going to be Minnetonka's ball. Ball with Blanks. Blanks steps in, doesn't get a shot off. Ball moved to Logan Yui. Yui to Miller. Miller back to Yui. Yui moves up all the way to Anderson. Anderson to Blanks. Blanks to Richard. Richard down to Miller. Miller back to Richard. Richard even strength now. Richard to Miller. Miller to Yui. Yui to Anderson. Anderson to Schuster. Schuster coming across and moves it all the way back to Miller. Miller carries it to the alley. Starts to go behind, clearing through space. He likes his short stick matchup. He's going to get a chance to get it, and the slide comes. Pass to Richard, picked up. Rebound off the goal, comes right to Logan Yui for his hat-trick goal. Logan Yui, 3 goals already tonight, just with a minute left before halftime. Face-off won by Buffalo. And before the shot, Buffalo calls a timeout. 54.8 seconds remaining in the half. Skippers 5, Bison 4. Buffalo with the ball. 45 seconds remaining in the half. Ball being spun around by Buffalo. A pass to an open Buffalo. Number 13, Lane Coolgy. Goal assisted by number 3, Ethan Nuss. That goal pushes the score 5-5. 25 seconds remaining in the first half. Loose ball push called against Minnetonka. Ball with the Bison. And with that, we're at the end of the first half. Score, Skippers 5, Bison 5. And welcome back. We're here at the second half of this tied lacrosse game here up in Buffalo. Face-off picked up by the Bison. Why are we... Shot bounces over the net, chased down by the Buffalo Bison. So the ball is theirs behind the net as they move it up around the outside. Pass over the head of Bison's midi. Goes out of bounds, and then another pass. Astray, thrown by the skipper, so it's going to be Bison's ball in the far corner. Ball picked up by Winston Homerding, moved to Benjamin Schuster. Schuster fakes a shot, gets two people to bite, and a backhanded pass to Jackson Blanks gets dropped right in front of the net. Picked up by the Bison goalkeeper. Minnetonka now looking to ride. Ball over midfield. Cole Langevin on the midfielder with the ball. Ball moves down to the Bison attack at X. Luke Miller on ball. Heavy checks. Keeps him wide. And a double team from Cole Langevin almost knocks the ball loose. Minnetonka's Ethan Nuss keeps the ball safe and gets it moved around to his teammates. Ball moved back down to Ethan. Ethan trying to find a way to the net. And it's knocked loose by Cole Langevin. Ball on the ground. Still not yet picked up by the Bison. And it's over the midfield line. And there's a whistle over and back. Called against the Bison. Ball now with the Skippers. Skippers move it down to Cole Langevin. Gabe Miller behind the net. Miller moves it to Schuster. Schuster on the wing, moves it up to Bodie Richard. Richard with the ball, and he moves it all the way to Reddington. Steven Reddington looking to dodge, and he slowly moves down the alley as he rolls back, looking for a pass, and it's moved to Logan Huey. Huey to Richard. Richard down the alley into his left hand, rolls back to his right, skips it to Reddington. Reddington takes a shot, and it's on the ground. Loose ball push called against the Skippers. Ball with the Bison behind. Bison throw it to a short stick at midfield, and Reddington's on him for the ride. A long pass goes to a long stick at midfield, and we have a long stick there to stop him. Knocked down by J.D. Landstrom. Ball with Jackson Blanks over Miller's head, and it's on the roll. Picked up by a Bison pull, and he's trying to clear. Miller on the chase. Blanks coming to help, and a terrible pass thrown straight to J.D. Landstrom, and he's on a breakaway. He's shooting. No, he passes it. Attempted for Benjamin Schuster, but it's on the ground again. Almost picked up, and there's probably going to be a loose ball push. Yes, called against the Bison. Ball awarded to Minnetonka. Ball with Benjamin Schuster. Finally, Minnetonka takes a chance to slow down and create some comfortable offense. They sub on their midfielders, Reddington and Yui. Reddington starts to move the ball, moves it all the way back to Yui. Yui to Bodie Richard. Richard back to Yui. Yui coming down the right alley, and he moves it to Blanks. Blanks coming up. Long pass to Bodie Richard. Wide open Richard misses the net just by a little. Chased down by Logan Yui. Yui will be starting it behind the net. Yui begins his carry up an alley. With a small lead, he moves it to Schuster. Schuster to Reddington. Reddington all the way to Blanks. Blanks looking to dodge down the alley. Seems to have beaten his guy, but does not take a shot. Moves it all the way over to Schuster. Schuster to Reddington. Reddington up top, maybe looking for a dodge. LSM on him. He calls for Richard to get open, and Richard gets the ball. Richard with a shorty looking for a dodge, and he does. He goes down the right alley, but he moves it all the way down to Jackson Blanks, who moves it over to Schuster. Schuster takes a dodge on the inside, but he's hitting the helmet, flag down, and his helmet's off. Schuster gets a shoulder to the head, knocking his helmet off his head. He seems to be fine with an easy up. Coaches come out to check on him. Schuster makes his way off the field, subbing on Liam Cassidy. One minute illegal body check call against Bison's number 2, Wyatt Osterbauer. As Schuster's on the sideline getting checked out by a trainer, seems to be looking okay. We hope for Schuster to be back quick. Miller taking a shot now, and it's off the post. Bar down, and it comes straight out to number 2, Jackson Blanks, who gets a wide open shot from close. Goal for number 2, Jackson Blanks, his second of the night. Quentin Restrepo at the dot for Minnetonka. Holding call against Minnetonka's number 3, Colby Sanders. Minnetonka will be man down for just 30 seconds. Benjamin Schuster is padding back up, ready to go onto the field. Schuster looking to sub off Jackson Gould to get the starting attackman back on the field. As the skippers become even again, The Bison keep the ball, but a pass deflected off of Winston Homerding's stick comes back to Minnetonka. Minnetonka's Cole Langevin with the ball, looking to clear, and he beats his man. Beats two guys, and he's over the midfield line. Beats a third man, is looking for a pass, but he beats that guy too. Langevin moves it to Blanks coming across midfield. Jackson Blanks takes the ball up and holds on to it. Reddington subs on for the Skippers. Ball with the Skippers, moved behind the net to Jackson Gould. Gould to Schuster. Schuster up to Anderson. Anderson to Reddington. Reddington all the way over to Blanks. Blanks moves it to Miller. Miller moves it all the way to Reddington. Reddington down to Anderson. Anderson pulling up for a shot, and a small hitch gets him open, and Grant Anderson scores for the Skippers. A beautifully executed hitch play gets him wide open in the middle of the field for a beautiful Skippers goal. Ball scooped up by J.D. Landstrom. Landstrom moves it to Charlie Mays, who carries it across midfield and takes it in and gets a quick touch. Charlie moves it to Colby Sanders, and Sanders holds the ball safely. He moves it down to Gabe Miller. Gabe moves it to Jackson Gould. A wide open Bodie Richard calling for the ball. Up, and he gets it. Logan Huey subs onto the field and instantly gets the ball moved to him, who moves it to Reddington. Reddington starts his dodge, but pulls it out and gives it to Huey. Huey back to Bodie Richard. Richard looking for a shot, and a little roll gets him open, but the goalie saves it. Wonderful save for Braden Mosley, Bison goalie. Ball now with the Skippers, and a pass over Zachary Alstron's head. Goes out of bounds. Alstron back onto the field, and he's running to the hole. Ball moved all the way over to the opposite side of the field for the Bison. A dodge initiated from the top. Now moves to Malachi. Malachi back over. And the ball's moved down behind the net. Lots of pressure down on the ball. Pass away to an open man who's looking to dodge. Double teamed, and the ball is looking to be stripped here. Skippers need it now. Cole Langevin heavy on the midfielder, who's dropped down to one knee. A backhanded shot goes wide. Ball with Malachi, but he doesn't catch it. Zachary Alstron bulldozes him and gets the ground ball with three guys on him. He gets absolutely clamped. Ball scooped up by the Bison. Moving it down. And a terrible decision to pass the ball made by Buffalo's number 5, Charlie Jurdy. Pass flies out of bounds, and now the ball is back with the Skippers, where they get to sub on their offensive midfielders. Ball moved to Cole Langevin, but a bad pass is dropped. And there's going to be a trip call here against Lane Kaloji. Cole Langevin gets one flag for sure, maybe two calls against him here. Two penalties against number 22, Cole Langevin. 1:30 seconds for a hold. The second one was a 1 minute unreleasable penalty for an illegal body check, a late hit while Lane Kaloji was on the ground. Goal for Lane Kaloji. That goal for the Bison pushes the score 6-7. The first penalty is technically released, so now Cole only has to serve one more minute, but it's unreleasable. Minnetonka cannot get their guy back, even if the Bison score. An illegal procedure called against the Skippers on the faceoff dot gives the ball back to the Bison. Honestly, Jack McNeil unleashing checks. And a hold call called against Jack McNeil gives the ball back to the Buffalo. Buffalo seem to be in extreme distress here. Seems to be a timeout called in the play. Not sure who called it, I assume. Never mind. That would be the end of our third quarter of play, so we're going into the fourth quarter. Skippers up 1. Bison with only 6 goals. And we're here for our last quarter of play in this section round 2 game, Buffalo versus Skippers. Skippers are up 1 and have 1 quarter left before they knock out the Bison. Bison man up still. Only a few seconds remaining though in that. Skippers are ready. And a wonderful save by Sean Carroll will keep them Bison from scoring. Ball now with Jack McNeil. 2 people trying to get it from him, but he gets an open pass to Jackson Gould, but it's not caught. Ball on the ground, scooped up by the Bison, and checks are being laid. Hopefully to get the ball from this midfielder. Whistles come in, and it's a timeout for the Buffalo. Bison timeout. Only 1 minute into the 4th quarter. Cole Langevin freed from jail and now covering the ball carrier. Another wonderful save by skipper Sean Carroll. Ball now on the ground right in front of the crease, and it's scooped up by Carroll. Carroll with the ball exiting the crease from behind. Still a pile in front of the net. Ball with number 22, Cole Langevin. Langevin looking to clear it. Carries it across midfield, but being doubled. He throws it in. Picked up by Charlie Mays. Mays moves it to Gould. Gould all the way back to Benny Schuster. Blanks with the ball, and he moves it to Reddington. Bodie Richard coming onto the field, and he gets the ball. Richard maybe looking for a dodge here, but he moves it up to Reddington. Langevin subs off, and Winston Homerding comes on the defensive side of the field. Blanks moves it up to Reddington. Reddington over to Richard. Richard coming down the alley, and he moves it back to Gould. Gould to Schuster. Schuster up to Reddington. Reddington looking for a dodge. He comes down the left alley in a shot way over the net. chased down by Jackson Gould. Gould will start the ball from behind the net. Gould carries it around the side and moves it to Reddington. Reddington moves it over to Blanks, and Blanks sets up a big dodge here. Blanks will probably take it down the left alley here. Shot on the run. Just wide, and it's chased down by Benny Schuster. Schuster with the ball behind the net. Schuster's getting up for a dodge, and Schuster makes his move up the alley. Schuster rolls back, being covered still, but he gets open, and he takes a wide shot. Chased down by Jackson Gould. Ball with Gould behind the net. Schuster being double-teamed now in the crease. He runs behind the back of the net open. Blanks starts moving it up to Richard. Richard back to Blanks. Blanks on the wing. And Blanks makes his dodge down the alley. Gets to his right hand, but it's knocked loose. Richards picks it up easy and takes it behind the net. Richard takes it up the alley. Richard with a skip pass to Miller on crease, and he gets it for a goal. Goal number 6. Gabe Miller, assisted by number 1, Bodie Richard. Quentin Restrepo sent to the dot for the Skippers. Ball still on the ground, and it's scooped up by the Bison. Check almost knocks it loose, and a double team comes, and the ball stays in the stick. Another check. Ball stays with the Bison, and the ball's moved behind the net. Moved back to the face-off guy. And his dodge throws the ball to the crease. A pass over the midfield line to J.D. Landstrom gets caught and moved all the way back to Schuster. Schuster gets a touch, and he starts to carry it over the top. Schuster moves it to Sanders. Sanders carries it over to midfield. Bodie Richard calls for the ball, and he gets it. Richard now looks maybe to dodge, and he's moving towards the wing. Pulls it out, and Liam Cassidy comes to midfield. Ball gets moved to Cassidy. Cassidy maybe looks for a dodge, and yes, he does. He takes it down the alley. Wide, doesn't have an opportunity for a shot, but he gets it back to Richard quick. Richard shifting around at midfield, but he doesn't find anything, and he moves it all the way over to Grant Anderson. Anderson, a fast player to say the least, moves it down to the wing and puts it all the way back down to Jackson Gould. Gould to Schuster. Schuster has it behind, and he moves it up to Bodie Richard. Richard carries it behind with a short stick on him, and this might be the threat that Minnetonka's looking for. Let's see if Bodie can get the job done. He comes up the left alley, and he skips it straight to Miller, and Miller catches it for a goal. Another almost identical goal to the last. Richard to Miller. Miller with a crease goal. .5 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the game. The Skippers now up 3. And this looks to be a Minnetonka face-off win. No, ball back on the ground, trying to be picked up, and J.D. Landstrom's got it. Landstrom running with it now, and he takes it all the way down and gets the touch. Landstrom then rolls back, and he finds an open Schuster. Schuster being double-teamed fast up at the point. Schuster evades the pressure and protects the ball. Schuster today being covered by a notable Division I commit, Griffin Valley. Gould dodges up the alley and passes it to Reddington. Reddington to Yui. Yui all the way over to Blanks. Blanks with a swim dodge move. He moves it back up to Reddington. Reddington takes it down the alley. Shot on the run, and there's no stopping that missile of a shot. Reddington scores his first goal of the night, pushing the score. Skippers 10, Bison 6. Steven Reddington, a notable skipper shooter, known to shoot over 100 miles an hour. A great check by number 26. Quentin Restrepo knocks the ball loose, and another check from the Bison. Throws the ball out of bounds. Bison have the ball now, and they take it down, looking for some very important offense with only 4 minutes and 31 seconds remaining in the game. They need 4 goals to bring this game back to a tie. Winston Homerding with heavy pressure on the ball. Number 13, Lane Kaloji. And Lane's on the ground. Lane throws a safety pass out. Lane's still on the ground. Skippers are now looking fairly comfortable. Flag on the field, and they're holding on to the ball. Buffalo need to at least stop play here so the penalty gets called and they can start to think about playing the game. One-minute penalty called against Buffalo's number 2, Wyatt Osterbauer. Only a 1-minute penalty, but for unnecessary roughness. 2 minutes and 17 seconds remaining in the game. Skippers 10, Bison 6. The Skippers have to keep the ball in the box once they get their touch. Get it in, keep it in rule. Grant Anderson with the ball, and he moves it down to X. Logan Yui. Yui to Anderson. Anderson back to Yui. Over to Miller. Miller holds on. Just protecting the ball and staying in the open space. Ball to Yui. Yui to Miller. Miller to X with Bodie Richard. Richard to Anderson. Skipper's just holding on to the ball here, keeping it in the box, wasting time. A shot into a defenseman. After bouncing off the player, it can go out. Blanks picks it up and instantly takes it back in for the touch. Now needs to keep the ball in. Ball moved to Gabe Miller. Miller carries it behind the net and holds it. Moves it back to Blanks, and Blanks continues to hold the ball. Lots of pressure from Buffalo, but the ball stays in the box. Blanks still keeping it. And a timeout called by the Skippers with 53.8 remaining right before Jackson Blank steps out of the box. 10-6 here. Skippers up by 4. After the timeout, the Skippers will still have to keep the ball in the box. Minnetonka still delaying time, only 30 seconds remaining. Ball with Jackson Blanks, and he carries it behind to hold on to it. Heavy pressure from an LSM. Knocks the ball loose as Bison try to clear. Heavy ride, and the ball's on the ground again. Picked up by Jackson Gould. Gould gets cheap shotted in the head, and there's going to be more flags. Another penalty against the Buffalo Bison. Cheap shot penalty called against number 24, Cooper Kebula, defensive midfielder. Just with a tent to injure, it looks like here. Minnetonka now can keep the ball basically wherever they want because they got 10 seconds to get a touch, 11 seconds remaining in the game. The Skippers will play the winner of another game being played tonight, Mound Westonka versus Chanhassen. If Mound Westonka wins that game, it will be a home game for the Skippers. If they lose, it will be a game played at Chanhassen High School. Congratulations to the Skippers on this game win against the Buffalo Bison. Bison beat the Skippers earlier in the season in overtime. Minnetonka will now be able to celebrate this win. The Skippers' next game will be on the 5th of June. That will be next Monday. We'll see you then, folks. But for now, that will be it.